Hello again. Every time that the British government tries to tackle the problem of illegal immigration, either the courts or Parliament itself will frustrate them in their efforts. The overwhelming majority of ordinary people would, of course, be only too glad to see somebody put a stop to the tens of thousands of immigrants who attempt to enter this country illegally by crossing the English Channel without passports or other documents. But Parliament and the courts are determined that this endless flow must not be impeded in any way. So it is that the appeal court recently ruled that it is unlawful to send asylum seekers to Rwanda to have their claims dealt with there, and this effectively meant that the newly introduced illegal migration bill was also dead in the water. At the same time, the House of Lords was altering the bill with the intention of watering it down and making it unworkable. One of the amendments made in the Lords was that all illegal immigrants who have arrived in Britain since the bill began its passage through Parliament in March should be exempt from its provisions. Since 10,000 people have crossed the Channel illegally in that time, these people are effectively granted amnesty and will never be removed. This may sound a fairly small number when looked at in comparison with the total number of immigrants to this country in the last year, around 600,000, but it still means building another 6,000 or 7,000 houses for people who had no right to enter the country and have contributed nothing at all to it. All this, combined with the sunny weather lately, has brought about a surge in the number of people entering the country in this way. Another 338 arrived the day before yesterday, which means 338 new patients for the National Health Service and a few hundred more houses that will need to be built for foreigners who have no connection with this country and who have entered it illegally. The government doesn't seem at all that bothered about this, and even when they do try to do anything, there are plenty of human rights lawyers, trendy judges and unelected peers ready to stop anything being done and ensure that the invasion continues with unabated vigour. It seems to me that the democratic process in Britain has failed us, and that no matter what people want, the government, legislature and judiciary are determined that they shall not have it. This does not bode well for the future, and as it becomes increasingly clear that legal and democratic methods are unlikely to make any difference, there will be those inevitably who turn to extrajudicial means. This is an undesirable state of affairs, and I can easily see that more people might follow this route if our masters do not start listening to us. Viewers might perhaps have noticed that there have been several court cases recently where this very thing has been happening, and people have turned to illegal methods of protest. If we are not to see a surge in such cases, it really is time that the powers governing the nation began to take notice of the wishes of the people. Unless something changes, then we might be approaching very uncertain times for democracy in this country. Perhaps a referendum on the subject of immigration might be a good way to settle the question and see what the people of Britain actually want. Because when all's said and done, we have never been asked about immigration.